Marc Spears of ESPN joining us. Spearsy, how you doing?
Oh, man, I walked the beach today, got some fresh air, heard the waves, got a nice break, man. I'm good.
How many people were on the beach? Was it a safe walk on the beach?
No, definitely a safe walk, definitely respecting social distancing, and I found some toilet tissue on the way back.
Oh, no, look at
that. That is good.
Swipe right.
You got to see, the key is, and I'm going to let y'all know, because y'all in Canada, so I ain't putting this out in the States. You got to find, as they call them in New York, the bodegas, the little convenience stores. That's where they got the toilet tissue, bro.
I've been saying it for a while. The little convenience stores, Sid backed me up on this. I said it on one of our team Zooms. The little places are the ones that are hiding some stuff, and if you dip your head in there, you may find some goodness in there. Listen, and kudos.
I'm gonna tell you this: I paid $14 for a double pack of four.
Well, I hope the wipe is worth it, Marc. I hope the wipe is worth it.
Yeah, me too.
And just don't pull the Dwight Schrute from The Office and start splitting plies, okay? Then we know we're all in trouble.
Such a good episode.
No.
That was such a good episode.
I'm a big man, so I need all my plies.
All right. So Sid and I were talking about the Draymond Green response to The Last Dance on the Uninterrupted. This is a team that you know pretty well. Did it surprise you that Draymond went down this road with KD again?
I think he's been holding it in because, Kevin is, and I love them both. Let me preface it by saying that. Both amazing guys. Love them. But I kind of feel like Draymond's been wanting to say something and was trying to figure out the right place where he was comfortable to say it. Because, Kevin had said previously that his departure was partially due to his confrontation with Draymond. And I knew he's been stewing about that. And he didn't really say anything. And he's been sitting on it for a while. I don't know why yesterday was the day, but I think I knew there was going to be a response at some point. And I guess in this podcast, he finally decided to let it go. And when he lets it go, he lets it go now.
He's pretty good at it.
I'm pretty quick-witted, you guys might know from past experiences. And he's one of them dudes, man. If you're going to get in a Jonesing contest, talking stuff contest, you better come ready with him. Because I have fun with it. He'll go dig deep. And remember when you had that helmet in your head in your youth? Whoa. Why would you say it? You know what I mean? He'll find some stuff about, hey, man, So he's definitely not the dude you want to get into it with.
Marc Spears of ESPN here on Tim and Sid. But did you love all of what he said? Like Durant, 2 titles, 2 finals MVPs. I understand stuff happened. I get it. A lot of good happened too, right? Like, could he have not let this one go?
A lot of great happened. I mean, and I think they still like each other. I don't think they dislike each other. It's just them expressing their opinions. And, kind of looking back, I'll be interested to see when the big documentary comes on from that team, man. And for some reason or other, Kevin just wasn't happy. You could see it. And I think that's what kind of frustrated those guys is that they felt like we're winning, we're championship contending. Was there not the like? You know what I mean? And, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and Kevin wasn't happy, and he decided to go somewhere where it would make him happier. And I've never prescribed to the fact that the media here didn't give him his respect. I think we gave him major respect. Although I'm more of a national guy, I know, to me, this is where I think things kind of went sideways, is when media day came before his last season, and a news outlet, which I'll leave nameless, decided it was their agenda to ask him 1,000 questions about free agency. And I think that's where he started getting a little defensive about his future. And
Right.
I think one way he easily could have handled it was just by simply saying, I won't talk about it till the end of the season. Carmelo's done that. Others have done that.
Why didn't he say
And
that?
Because he's not good with the media.
I don't know.
After all this
I
time, he's
guess
that bad with the media? That's unbelievable.
I mean, I think he's just – some people are just open and honest, and maybe he didn't feel like playing that game. You know, it was his choice. He could have certainly went in that road, but he opted not to, which as a member of the media, it's great for us. We're going to keep asking you about it. And it's kind of funny, though, nobody was really asking Kawhi about it, right? Like, Kawhi was the same situation.
Well, you're going to ask him a million questions and weren't getting anything. So people stop trying.
I mean, you guys are there every day. How often did you guys ask him compared to how often KD got asked about it?
I would say 1 to 10.
And it might be less than that.
And
Yeah.
and I think the thing was and you guys have amazing media there, by the way. That I think you guys probably were like, he's not going to entertain it.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of like, is it worth it to you to get nothing out of your time with Kawhi? And you're right, some very smart people in the Toronto media, after a very short period of time with Kawhi, realized, look, let's get any other quote out of him we can, because this is going to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. No, I mean, you gotta check out your we scout our opponents too. Like, and he barely says three things, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of get what you can. Whereas Durant is like amazing with the media. He's always talking to us. He's always open. He's always honest. It's just him. Everybody's different. Kawhi says 5 words, and so, I'm sure he got asked about it in the beginning, if you guys go back, and probably gave a pretty terse, nothing answer. So they probably figured he wouldn't take the bait.
Marc Spears of the Undefeated joining us here on Tim and Sid. We talked to B.J. Armstrong yesterday, and it was an interesting conversation about how it took 30 years, basically, for some of these stories to come out of the Chicago Bulls locker room, and he was comparing it to these times when we hear everything. And lo and behold, later that day, we get this story from Draymond Green. Now, I truly believe that a gem cannot be polished without friction. But I also feel like I might be a dinosaur. Like, are we getting to the age where these guys can't deal with having a guy call out another guy the way Draymond did? Like, is this just a new generation where that won't be tolerated anymore? Or can we have the kind of friction that Michael Jordan brought to a locker room?
I think that the perception now is that you can't, like, shoot, the stuff they used to call me in my youth, oh my goodness. I got slapped by my coach when I was a sophomore in high school because I complained of it being 40 degrees in the gym. And he slapped me on my face and told me, are you warm now? You know what I mean? Like,
it's unbelievable.
That was it. And you guys can laugh about it now. Don't let me.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing about it.
Hey, don't let me see this man in the alley. He's a little older now, but don't let me see him in the alley now. But, like, at my generation, which I assume is y'all's generation, man, we got called everything. Everything under the sun. And we're used to it. That's what it was. And it shouldn't have been that way.
I'm not saying it was right.
Yeah, but, when you're an elite player like Kobe Bryant, when you're a LeBron James, like Magic Johnson talked more stuff to his teammates than we knew. He held them to a certain standard, I heard a story the other day about when Orlando Woolridge was with the team. He got thrown a pass by Magic, and it hit him in the face on a fast break, like right after he got to the Lakers. And Magic told him something like, when you're on the fast break with me, you keep your eyes open. Okay, I bet you he his eyes open, you know.
But he didn't talk to Kareem that way, though, I would assume. He didn't talk to Kareem that way.
I'm sure once he got going, he did. You know? Right. I mean, I think there's respect there, but, man, like, Bird was probably the worst of them all. I'm waiting for the Celtics one. The Celtics truth to come out. Bird would kill his own teammates all the time. It's just, the thing is now, like, we don't, it's like work. There's stuff that going on your job that people don't know. You know, I work with abusive people. You know what I mean? But nobody tells the stories except over a drink somewhere. I got 1,000 basketball stories that I can't tell on the radio, and I say a lot.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
you do.
And I'm gonna tell you this, and when you guys bring me back, you're gonna be like, dang, y'all ain't heard nothing yet in this Last Dance. It's gonna get better. The stories are gonna. Y'all just got a appetizer, some calamari.
Don't tell me that. I fell in love. I fell in love watching this Monday. You're saying this is going to get better.
I heard that the second course it starts getting a little better.
Well, with Rodman, obviously that's the case.
You got an 8-course meal, 10-course meal, man. It's going to get better. It's just giving you a little taste of something. Go get the wine out.
Homie, you can't give us that without a menu. Like even he's
not telling us anymore, McCallum.
Just let us look at them. I'm not telling him to give me the dish. I'm not telling you to give me the dish. I'm just saying, show me the menu, Spearsy.
Well, this is what I work there, so I hear things. I do have access to the first 8, but I haven't watched 3 and 4 yet. I kind of want to watch with everybody else. But I did see one teaser, and I know the whole story to this about a time when Dennis Rodman took a vacation in the middle of the season, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Vegas, baby.
Before he took off for 48 hours. Now, I know the whole story. I can't say the whole story because this is public radio. I've heard the whole story, and I can't wait to hear Jordan tell it because I wonder how much of it he's going to tell.
Oh, Jordan with half a bottle of tequila in him, sitting in that chair, is going to tell a good story. Like that's going to be. I mean,
but that's the beauty of what Mark Twain's book came out 100 years after he died or something like that. Like that's the beauty of these docs coming out 20 years later is guys are a lot comfortable saying a lot more.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I am worried that Pippen might feel like in the end that his reputation is going to take a hit because a lot of these stories, a lot of free agent the contract or not getting the surgery done and maybe the 1 seconds left, 4 seconds left. When those things start coming back, like Jerry Krause can't defend himself, right? He's getting beat up. But I think Pippen's like, man, people kind of forgot about those things. And now, all the dirty laundry from the past is coming back.
Last question. What's in the glass? do we know what's in Jordan's glass? It's his own tequila.
Ramona Shelburne had a story about it. I think it's some whiskey.
I read his own tequila brand.
Or tequila, same thing.
I read his own. And if you go, somebody on social media cut together different stills. That glass was empty and full at various times in both parts. It's amazing to watch. Like at times it was full, and then at times it was really empty, and his eyes were very watery, and he was getting really emotional talking about stuff. And clearly he was well lubricated.
Right? Hey, so what is when you're doing a doc? That's probably a good thing to do, right?
Oh,
he ain't driving.
Smartest thing.
Home.
That's a brilliant thing.
What would be in your glasses? What would be in your glasses?
That's a good question.
I'll take some Coors Light.
If someone's hold on, the liquor that Jordan's drinking is apparently a tequila that costs $1,800. If they are I'm going straight Louis. If someone else is buying the bottle, if you're interviewing me, right?
Yeah.
$1,800.
Where are you going?
Bottle.
You know, at one time, speaking of Draymond, we had dinner one night, and he brought a bottle of wine, and I thought I had some good stuff. But I took a picture of the bottle of wine that he brought, and it was like worth like $750 a bottle. Like I thought I had some nice wine, man. And I got like a 1982 bottle. I ain't got nothing on Draymond, so I would want a bottle from Draymond Green.
How did it taste? It's $7.50 a bottle. How did it taste?
Oh, like butter.
They better.
Or I'll tell you one other quick story.
Yeah.
I remember being at a bar, and DeMarcus Cousins was buying Louis V or whatever that stuff is.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
The top of the top, $1,000 a shot.
Shot.
A shot.
Shot.
A shot.
I would
mean,
drop
that's
like a
probably-
heart attack
He
in a
was
shot.
buying
That's-
$1,000 a shot. So that better
Yeah.
tasted amazing.
Yeah, you get a bottle of that. I mean, they're making a little bit of profit at a bar, but we know what I'm talking about. That's where I was going with it.
One day soon, brother, we're gonna have that drink at Soho
Yes.
House. In,
Guys, we're going to Soho. Someone's going to order a bunch of those shots, and someone else is going to pay for them. I can't wait.
Brian
All
Wall's
right,
gonna
man.
pay.
I'm glad that you got some toilet paper. I'm glad that you got, as Cicero calls, the asweepe, because the asweepe is always very important. We're also glad that you got a walk.
Scary thing is, I don't know what brand it is, man. At this point, you don't even care. It's like Larry's
As long
toilet paper.
as, long as
I don't
it's,
even
long
know.
as it's
you're
white.
good.
As long as
Yeah.
it's white and it can fit in your hand. That's all I care about.
It looked impressive. I did buy some cheap ones too.
It looked.
Right. Otherwise, we're
you know
getting.
them emergency joints that's at grandma's house. I got some of those.
No, the emergency joint is the hose, homie.
Paper towel.
Yeah.
Old socks.
All right, man. Be well. Continued health for you and the family, and we'll do this again soon, as we always do.
All right, y'all. Take care.
See you, Spearsy.